Hey guys, Corey here. Welcome to Blue Talks, and I hope you enjoy this video.
Hello, everyone. What a privilege to speak at Harvard. And my talk title today is How Self-Mastery of Calm Creates Extraordinary Leaders. Let me ask you a question. What if the future belongs not to the leaders who can endure the most pressure, but to those who can remain calm, clear, and aligned within it? According to Deloitte's research, nearly 70% of executives report seriously considering leaving their role for a job that better sustains or supports their well-being. Working in a healthcare field for nearly 20 years, I witnessed organizations crumbling under unmanaged stress, poor wellness, and leaders who are burnt out. As a certified personal trainer, I also had a privilege working with business owners who came to me with help for their health. They wanted to gain more strength or simply have more energy to keep up with their relentless schedules. But repeatedly, I saw the same pattern. Stress, long hours, skipped meals, and neglected relationships. So their business consumed them. So they weren't struggling because they lacked discipline. They were struggling because their lives and their businesses weren't aligned. So we are growing businesses while often neglecting the very foundation that makes growth possible: our health, our relationships, our peace of mind. The irony is that many leaders believe they need more control, more discipline, or more effort. But often the problem isn't lack of effort, it's misalignment. It's like driving your vehicle with all four wheels out of alignment. You can keep pressing harder on a gas pedal, but you are still fighting resistance, and eventually something breaks. So here is the real question: what is the cost of living and leading in a constant state of pressure? But before we can understand the power of calm, we first need to understand what stress is quietly stealing from us. So what exactly stress is stealing from us? Most people think that stress is just an uncomfortable feeling that we just simply need to push through, or something we just manage. But stress is much more than that. Stress changes the way we think and lead, and ultimately it changes the results we create. When we are constantly in a fight or flight mode, our brain shifts from creativity into survival mode. Research from Harvard Medical School and Stanford has consistently shown that chronic stress impairs decision-making, it weakens our emotional regulation, and also it compromises our decision-making. So everything changed for me when I realized that success wasn't just about mastering business strategies, but success was about mastering myself and learning how to create calm internally before we can create results externally. So the question is, if stress is the hidden cost of chaos, what becomes possible to us when we master calm? I believe it starts with redefining success itself, because for decades we've been taught that success has to do with external markers, revenue, growth, recognition, titles. And while these things are important, they only tell a part of the story. Because here is the question we don't ask often enough. Who are you becoming while you are growing it? Can you sustain it? Can you keep building it without sacrificing your health, your relationships, your peace of mind, and your sense of purpose? And that's where self-mastery comes in. Self-mastery is the ability to lead yourself before you can lead others, to manage your internal world without being controlled by it, and to remain grounded when circumstances around you are uncertain. Yes, I discovered that self-mastery isn't built just in one area of life. It's built through alignment. Think again of a vehicle out of alignment. Eventually something breaks. The same is true for us. When our body is depleted, our mind is scattered, our emotions are overwhelmed, and our purpose is unclear, we are operating out of alignment. But when all those dimensions begin working together, something remarkable happens. Our resilience grows, our clarity returns, and decisions become easier. So when we stop operating out of alignment, we stop fighting resistance. When you master calm within yourself, you begin moving forward with intention, clarity, and purpose. So perhaps the future doesn't belong to those who can endure the most pressure. Perhaps it belongs to those who can remain clear, calm, and aligned within it. And in closing, I want to tell you a story. Last summer, my partner and I went canoeing. It was first time for me and for us together. When we first pushed off from shore, we thought success was about paddling harder. But the harder we paddled, the more frustrated we became. We were moving furiously, but going nowhere. In fact, we were spinning in circles, trying not to capsize. And guess what? The more force we applied, the more resistance we created. And isn't that what so many leaders do? We assume that more effort is the answer. But what I learned on that lake is something I'll never forget. The moment we stopped fighting the water and found our rhythm, the canoe began to glide. Nothing around just changed. The lake didn't change. Our destination didn't change. What changed was us. We became clear, coordinated, and aligned. And suddenly, what felt difficult became effortless. So perhaps that's a lesson for all of us. Perhaps success isn't about paddling harder. Perhaps it's about becoming so clear, so aligned, and so calm that growth becomes a natural consequence of who you are, how you lead, and how you live. Because the world needs leaders who can remain grounded under pressure and who can remain calm. Leaders who understand that self-mastery is strength and self-mastery is discipline. And when you master calm within yourself, you don't just change your business, you change the way success is experienced. Thank you.